Hello everyone, it's Red with RedDragonLeo.com. It is Wednesday the 27th. We had a big move down today, and I have to say I am surprised. Well, not really. I mean, the chart said we were going to roll over, but as far as whether or not the gangsters were going to let it happen, I didn't know. I was beginning to wonder with all this sideways consolidation that they were having there. I was kind of wondering if they're going to keep on moving it up, but they didn't. So they actually let the charts work and let them roll over, which is a surprise. But I was short anyway, so it made no difference. I was short from last Thursday, which was a day early. I think I got short on this big candle right here, and I didn't catch that top right there. So but I'm still short, so I'll probably close them up tomorrow, because I think tomorrow we're likely to continue down some, but it could be the bottom, the short-term bottom, before we have a rebound of some type. I don't know how high it's going to go. I just think they're going to take it into the August 2nd deadline, and just have to wait and see. But looking at the charts, you can see here that the 60-minute chart here is getting very, very oversold. Down here at -3, and over at this point it was at -4 or something. It's almost there now. And you can see here it did the same thing here before it curled back up. Now the only difference here is that we are at -5 and there's no signs of turning back up. So that is a little bit of a concern. So that tells me that we should probably go down deeper tomorrow morning at least. So we don't even have a bear flag here. This is just fell and fell and fell, and we didn't even have a chance to go sideways or slightly up to form a bear flag, like we did here, for example. You fell, went on down, and then went up, and then kind of sideways traded a little bit. So this was a little bit tough. This whole pattern here was kind of it's a mixture of a bear flag and a slight bull flag, because the move down right here, that bottom, then it went up and traded a little sideways. That was kind of a bull flag, but it's really hard to tell in this. It was kind of mixed. But if you just looked at the whole pattern there, just straight across, and then you see the move down, that was the bear flag move. And then it, of course, rallied, because you could see the MACDs were moving up. So we're not even at that point yet. That's what I'm trying to say. There's no sign of it turning back up yet, and I would suspect that this 1295 double bottom is going to act like a magnet to get this market to hit here. You would expect it to pierce it a little to get more bears on board. That's the way they typically do it, is because you're so close to it right now. If you were further away, then I'd say maybe you just might hit it or fall a little bit short and put in a higher low. But if you were, like, say, I don't know, in this area right here, then I might think that maybe you'd come up here a little shy of it. But considering you're so close to it right now, my gut tells me that it will go down here and pierce it, go below it, and make a lower low than this before it starts to turn back up. And then it could turn back up tomorrow, and you could have you could actually have a positive day. It could actually turn back up and have a positive day, because once it gets some momentum going like this here, and this thing turns back up on the MACDs, what you want as a bear is you want it to turn up fast and hard, and not take its time going up. If it takes its time going up, it's going to build bullishness, and then it will really rip higher. So what you want it to do is exhaust itself and make a fast move up, and that will tell you that it's going to have another move down. As you can see, this one here was quite a steep angle move up. It happened pretty much, it looked like all in one day, and then it just wore itself out. and I'd like to see that same kind of pattern. Whereas here you had 1, 2, 3 moves down, got really deep here. You didn't have any divergence at all. You just went straight up pretty much. There was no really, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, there's no stair-stepping way up, I guess you would call it. And on the way down, you had one here, you had one here, and you had one here. So you can see it really put a lot of pressure down. It went down, tried a little bit more, went down, fell again, went down, fell again. And so, but here on this move up, it just literally exhausted itself, went up really hard and fast, and all it got out of it was from here up to here, and then it collapsed again, as you can see. And that's what I'd like to see, as well as after this thing goes and opens flat and does some selling or gaps down. I don't care how it does it. I'm not sure how it does it, whether it's going to open flat and try to come back up or whatever. But it looks to me like it's going to continue down and then curl back up here at some point. And we hope that it goes fast and furious. And if it goes fast and furious, then it will get overbought quickly by Friday, or something like that. Maybe Friday would be a continuation of it. Monday might be a little bit of a continuation as well, and then Tuesday it would roll back over and collapse down. So we really do want it to go fast, but if it takes its time, then it's going to stretch all the way out into Monday. So tomorrow maybe it'd be the first positive day after a move down. Like I said, I'm thinking down first. I'm thinking it'll break this low right here, and then if it turns back up tomorrow, and I think it can. There's a strong possibility because we're getting pretty deep here at -5. Now, can it go lower? Yes. We've seen this thing down much lower. We've seen it down here at -10. But I think it's getting close to turning back up, and I think that could happen tomorrow. Now, obviously, if it continues past here and doesn't show any signs of turning back up, then you just stay short. But as soon as it starts to show some signs of turning back up, I think that tomorrow is that day. I do believe tomorrow will be the day, and it should turn back up and close positive. Maybe not a big rally, but just close positive. Then it may be a continuation into Friday. We'll see how it goes. It might be up a little. And this is all based upon no news coming out about the debt ceiling. If they come out and say, we've got a deal, you can expect a massive squeeze. And yeah, so, but this is just assuming that we don't get anything until the deadline of August the 2nd, and then they come out and tell us, yeah, we got a deal, but it's, it's going to involve a lot of cuts, and I don't know. I don't know what they're going to say. I still think that the market is going to turn on August 2nd, one way or another. Either we're going to get a bunch of stimulus money as they raise the debt ceiling, and they're going to throw it in the market, and they're going to run it up to new highs again, or they're just going to let it fall. And so I'm thinking that they'll go ahead and raise the debt ceiling. There might be a brief rally on it, but I think that ultimately it'll fall back down, because it's not like I don't think they're going to do a massive injection of QE3 at this point. So I think it's going to try to trick people. That's what I'm trying to say. I think that they'll word it in a way to get a brief rally out of it, but when traders read deeper into whatever the actual wording is, I think it will say to them, hey, this ain't very good, we need to sell. And I think that it will turn back down and sell. That's what I'm thinking. So it might be a brief pop. But this argues for a move up tomorrow and into Friday and into Monday. And so it could go up very quickly. If it goes up very quickly and gets overbought on Thursday, then you could see it fall back down again on Friday. So let's keep that in mind as well too. You see how it did here? It went up very, very quickly, and then it got overbought, and it fell back down, and this histogram bar was a much higher low than this one here, but the actual price level was lower, as you can see. So when it rallied up here, this could be the conclusion of tomorrow, Thursday. It could be something similar. It could rally up very quickly, get overbought, and it could basically be like this and end the day positive after a move down. Very similar. Then on Friday, it could turn back down and run back down again, just like it did here, and put in a lower low. That is possible. That is possible. We really have to focus on how fast this histogram bar starts to move up. If it takes its time, then again, if it takes its time, it should go up higher. And when it goes up higher, I'm saying that whatever low it puts in tomorrow will be the temporary low for 2 or 3 days as it moves its way back up. So, but if it does not do that, if it runs up very quickly tomorrow and kind of gets overbought Thursday, then you could turn around and sell it short again into Friday, thinking that Friday is going to go back down again. I hope that makes sense. So, because that's exactly what happened here. It ran up very quickly, got overbought, fell back down again. It needs to take steps to put in positive divergence to get it, if it wants to put in a final low and actually rally straight for 2 or 3 days into next week. And how high it goes, I don't know. Maybe 50% retracement. I don't know. Just you draw a line right through here, and that puts you at about 1335. Depends on when you hit it. If you draw that line there, 1330, somewhere in that area, you could expect that into next week if it takes its time and puts in some positive divergence as it moves its way up. And so that's what I'm seeing in the charts there. There's other indications. Obviously, the 30-minute chart is way oversold and argues for a turn tomorrow too. Negative 7.5, and we weren't even that deep here or here on the histogram bars, or in the histogram on the MACDs, I'm sorry. So that argues for a move back up too, and everything is saying that short term we should have a move back up. 15-minute chart's pretty low too, but we don't pay as much attention to the 15-minute chart. But looking at the daily, this is the key to say that we are going to go lower. And one of the keys here is the RSI relative strength is now in bear territory at 44.82. Broke the 50 mark after this. So if it curls back up and rallies, I don't expect it to go above. You could draw a line right here. That'll be a line of resistance. So if it curls back up over the next day or two, I don't expect it to go above. That's what I don't expect. And then here on the ADX line, this is telling you it's pretty low right now. It is telling you that at some point it's going to have a big move as it curls up and these things separate. And that it all goes in with Elliott wave, and this move right here being the first wave down, and maybe some type of wave 2 up, and then a wave 3 down. And it all could be inside of this whole big move of wave 3. If, for example, this was a wave 1 down, this was a wave 2 up, and we're starting a wave 3 down, then it's very possible that this was the first wave 1 of it, and this is a wave 2, and then we got a wave 3 coming, and then a wave 4 and a 5, and that's all inside of this wave 3. Okay, and then break it down even more, and inside this wave 3 here, we just have wave 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. You see what I'm saying? So it just breaks down into lower and lower. It's possible that that could be the case, but I'm not basing it on Elliott wave, because I just, in hindsight, it's the best way to look at Elliott wave. It's useful afterwards, but it's just making speculations on the counts there. The daily, you can clearly see, looks like it's ready to roll over, but it's not sure yet. It just now hit negative territory, so it's still in an indecisive mode, in my opinion, because the weekly is still kind of supporting it. So yeah, it rolled over, it's pointing down, but I'm not confident yet that it's ready to just fall apart. That's why I'm thinking that it can turn and we could have a 1 to 3 days of a rally. 1 to 3 days. It all depends on what tomorrow does. You know, again, remember what I said about the 60-minute chart. So we could, if that happens, then, and it does it really quick, tomorrow, like I was saying, if it runs up really quick right here and gets overbought and puts in a positive day tomorrow, if that happens, and we still see a bar right here below zero, that should tell you that Friday is most likely going to be another down day, a sell day. You know, you're not likely to see this thing turn back up if those MACDs move up too quickly like that. They need to take stair step to get to build momentum. So again, it could be, you know, a move down, possibly down here. It is possible. I think I was listening to Mr. Topstep. I think they said 12. I think they said 1295 is what they were looking for in the ES. But obviously, that's this 1295 on the ES. That's they probably already reached that because it's a little different than the SPX. SPX running a little bit higher right now. But me personally, I think it's going to at least double bottom, but I think it'll pierce the double bottom. So I'm thinking tomorrow. Looking at the weekly chart here, you can see here that the weekly chart it ain't finished yet now. Remember, it has not finished yet, but it's still working its way up. It did put in a lower bar here, but again, the week isn't over. So that could reverse back, and it could just continue, and we could have a rally next week. It is possible. It all really depends on that debt sign. This could go either way. This really could. Me personally, I was calling for 1 or 2 or maybe even as many as this bars positive, but at this point I'm still thinking that the debt ceiling issue is going to be bad news. Even if it rallies initially from it, I think that it will turn back down, and we'll head back down here on the weekly into next month, into August. And I think that this here will roll over and start working its way towards the zero line, which will be very bearish when it crosses below zero on the weekly. This here will continue rolling over and heading down again on the weekly. So I'm thinking that is what is going to happen. And looking at other things, let's see here. Let's see the monthly here. With this, it's good to look at this now. If the month closes out this week, so it needs a close below the May low of 1311. I agree with that statement. You get 2 closes below that, and you've confirmed a new trend. And so far, it's looking like that's possible. That's going to happen. It all depends on what happens tomorrow and Friday. So that might be negated. We just don't know, but it's possible. If they run it up quickly tomorrow, again, then they could sell it right back off on Friday. Because if there's no deal or no deal announcement tomorrow or the next day, then I don't think these traders are going to hold it. And that would tell you that they're thinking about collapsing the market and just crashing it down. If I bring over here some charts here for you, my own charts here. Let's see here. The IWM, looking at it on the 60-minute chart, and you can see I got a ton of lines in here that I've drawn in. So you can see that support line there. They broke through it, and they broke through this trend line, and I don't see anything until you get really down to here. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not going to bounce from some other level that I'm overlooking, but I really don't see any support for it. Let's see on the daily chart if there's anything I'm missing here on these lines, these support lines. Let's see. Obviously, there's 77, there's support. But, well, I guess there's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're right there at a support line. So, actually, if you draw a line from here straight over to there, but we've pierced it. We've pierced it. And it is still going down on the daily. Look here. It is still going down the daily in major bear territory here on the IWM. What about the SPY, SPY? Okay, looking at the SPY, I know it's looking confusing here, but you can see it is still heading down again below 50 on the daily. If we zoom in on it here, and it looks like your level of support from this top right here is there at 130. Below that is your 129, and that goes back to, wow, 3/9/2009. That's where that trend line started. Okay, so if I went back here to the weekly, for the, say, the 2-year chart, and that is where that line starts. That's a pretty important line. You can see this one right here. So that could be the line that we're looking at. Let's go to 5 years. So you got to look, yeah, you see there, boom, boom, boom. That to me is, yeah, very important timeline. So zoom in on it right there again. So that 129, that is what, about I don't know, 1290 on the SPX or something like that. That's assuming it breaks this one at 130. But I think we're going to bounce probably tomorrow. And then maybe we hit that on Friday. So maybe we bounce tomorrow, then we have an exhaustion move down on Friday to 129 to that major support level. That is very, very possible. So looking at that on the 60-minute chart, it is still possible. Again, you can see it wanting to move up there. Let's go with the 2-hour chart and look at the market that way. It's getting oversold on the 2-hour chart as well. Same lines there. Okay, if we do a 4-hour chart, you can see we are still going down on the 4-hour chart. So that tells you that we are still in bear territory. So, okay, the VIX, I always use the VXX, but you can use the VIX as well. We broke above and closed above that level right there. But that does not mean it might not back test that level tomorrow, because it is looking, it is pointing up. It is not showing signs of rolling over yet. It is not showing an exhaustion tail move like here, topping tail. You know, I don't see that yet. So so it could roll over back test, but or we put in that exhaustion tail tomorrow on the gap down in the market, and then run a back test this line. But it clearly broke above this line right here, which is probably the 1-year line. Let's see, it's where that line comes in at. Yes, it was from here to here. This is what I did. I connected there, there, and there. That is a very important trend line right there, folks. That is so it broke above this one from that high. This is a telltale sign on the VIX, and look where it's moving up. This is very, very bullish on the VIX. You know, August to me is looking to be a very ugly month. So short term, you can probably see that we're probably overbought on the VIX. Well, not really. And right here, you're not putting in negative divergence yet. You draw a line on that. I don't believe that this hump right here is lower than this one here. So there's no negative divergence. So it broke through and closed above that major trend line. That was big on the VIX. So it's looking ugly, but we still should have a bounce, and tomorrow should be the day. The UUP, which is the dollar, for some reason I can't get the regular dollar to show up here. It did rally big here and went right back and closed above this trend line. I'm not sure where that goes to. Let's check it out on the 1-year chart, see how that is, where this trend line here is. Ooh, that was a major trend line. Okay, it didn't go above that one. Which one did it go? Okay, that's on the daily. So, well, it went above this one here. It went down there and closed that gap. That's what it did, folks. You see, it went down there and closed that gap, and now it's going up. And you can see it's going up. That's bad for the market. Let's see, what else am I looking at besides that? Oh, the QQQs, which was pestering the crap out of me, but it finally fell like a rock. Finally. Nice big down day. It was the only one that broke out of the highs, and that was it. And it was obviously just a fake breakout. There's no support in it until you hit, looks to me like 50, 57 something right there. This line here probably can be, that line's gone. It's not important anymore. It was just a breakout on the 60-minute chart, which had done that. So these other lines are still valid. So 57.20 is where it could go to. Where'd that go to? All the way back to 616, May the 16th low. Okay, and obviously that one is an important one as well. From here, from a gap up, I believe, or I think that's a gap up. So the QQQs could continue down as well. And I think I have covered everything. So if I was looking for a bounce on these, it's moving down as well. It has not went past the 50. But if I was looking for a bounce, I would be looking on this one easily. If it hit that 57.20 something, 25, 57.20, maybe it's 57.25 by tomorrow, so it's going up. If it hit that level tomorrow and a gap down tomorrow, that looks like to me like a buy. So go back and say 9 months. Let's see where this line goes to. Right there. Okay, I did it from that point right there, connected these right here. So you can see that's an important trend line. Okay, folks, so I'm thinking, my thoughts are pretty simple. Here I am thinking that we get, now did I not cover the SPX? I guess I can cover that for you. That's the main one we focus on. Sorry about that. The SPX. Okay, let's go back 5 years and see where these trend lines come in, so you'll know where they are. Okay, back here on the March 2009 low, this is the actual closing price of 680 on 3/9/2009. This is the 666 one, the low at back then. So, and the closing price connects with the closing prices here, and the others connects with the tails, which are the lows of the day. And zooming in here on it, oops, that's a little bit too, let's go daily. That's a weekly. Okay, zooming in again here on this, you can see how important that level is right there. That one and this one here. This ought to tell you from this line right here to here, even though that was an all-time high, I guess, the most recent high there in May 2nd. This here, drawing here, so somewhere in this 1296, 97 area is where it should bounce. It should bounce there from this trend line here, at least for tomorrow. So I'm thinking what we'll probably have maybe is a gap down, and that's about it. If we gap below this, now make no mistake, if we gap below this, say 1296 area on the SPX, we're going down to the next one. And that's down there. That's the only support I see. You gap down below there, because look here, you also have the horizontal support line right here. They haven't even drawn in, so we go here and draw a horizontal line, and we'll just draw it like this. You draw that horizontal line, and see that's a 1, 2, 3. That is, you call that a necktie of support in that area. And you got a major trend line from all the way back in March of 2009 there. You've got the trend line here from the May 2nd high, and then you've got this horizontal support. If we gap below that, it's going to be ugly. It's going to really fall. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we might just open and go down, hit that, and then bounce for one day, possibly, and then maybe turn and sell back down again Friday. I don't know. Depends on how powerful the bounce is. But so I would look to exit all the short-term shorts in this area tomorrow morning, and that should be it for a while. I don't know about Monday, or next week. I just don't know yet. Take it one day at a time. So, okay, gang, I think I have covered everything, and I can't think of anything else. So I will end the video And as always, don't forget, you can see me in the chat room. We are chatting during the daytime. Here we can see here. We're here, and I'll probably be changing this over time here because I'm not happy with it not recognizing the avatars. So I will be probably changing this to another chat room. So this one's kind of experimental, but anyway, you don't forget there, I'm at both blogs on a regular basis. So, all right, that is it. I will see you guys on the blog or in the chat room. Good luck, everyone.